If I lost everything today, the profits, the experience, the knowledge, and all my trading accounts, and had to start again from zero, this is exactly what I would do. I know what it's like to start from scratch. A few years ago, I opened my first broker and put $100 in. Like everyone, I lost that straight away. So I've been trading for 3 years now, and just over a month ago, I quit my full-time job in Dubai to become a full-time day trader. I've blown accounts, I've chased setups, and for every next new strategy would save me and help me become profitable. But after these 3 years, and especially the last month of doing this full-time, I can tell you the truth. Most traders fail not because of their setups, not because of their strategies, but because you built it all in the wrong order. So if I had to start again today from scratch, this is the exact roadmap that I would follow myself to help me turn profitable again. So the first thing, I wouldn't even download MetaTrader, go onto TradingView. I wouldn't even do any of that. I'd spend the first few days and weeks on my mindset. Because if you can't fix your thinking and your emotions, you'll end up just repeating the same mistakes over and over again. I'd ask myself 2 questions. First one, why do I want to trade? If your answer is purely to get rich quick, don't even bother trying to learn about trading, you will fail. And number 2, can I handle uncertainty every day? If you know you can't, and you feel like it will be impossible for you to learn that, then again, trading isn't for you. Because some days you'll lose, some days you'll win, some days you won't even take a trade at all. But one thing I can tell you is your profit and your loss on your trading days will always be different. So if you can't understand that you will have uncertainty within your day, then trading isn't for you. Because trading isn't just about profit, loss, and numbers. It's about discipline. Because when I first started trading, like everyone, probably like you now, I chase money. Now I chase execution and discipline. And changing these things helps you become an unprofitable trader to a profitable trader. Once I figured out my mindset and my discipline within myself, I would go straight back to basics. But this time I'd do it properly. I wouldn't binge watch random YouTube videos or loads of YouTube videos. I wouldn't buy a course. I'd pick one strategy and I'd learn that strategy like the back of my hand. I'd understand why it works, why you use these different confluences, and only implement that strategy that you've been learning into real life trading. Because you don't need a crazy strategy with 1,000 confluences to become a profitable trader. You need step 1, which is discipline. And you need one strategy, not to overcomplicate things, and that is what will work for yourself. I would also only choose one currency pair that you trade. So for me, it's always been gold. Don't try and learn and understand 10 different currency pairs because you're just going to confuse yourself. Keep it as simple as possible. Even still, 3 years in, I still only trade gold. I've never ever traded another currency pair. And that is because I know gold really well. And my strategy, which I have for gold, may not work on a different currency pair, but I don't want to risk it because I have something that works right now. So the goal in this phase isn't to make any money. It's just to remove the confusion of day trading. Because once you simplify everything, consistency starts to appear naturally. So learn one strategy on one pair. That's all you got to do. And you're not even taking trades at this point. You're just looking at the markets, potentially marking key levels, getting the confluences onto TradingView, but you are not actively trading, not even on a demo at this point. So I would spend around 2 to 3 weeks, if I was you guys, learning this like the back of your hand. This should give you enough time where you can go back through the charts, you can see what your currency pair does, and also see how your strategy works at different timings throughout the day. Once I was confident with my currency pair and my strategy, that is when I would go on to demo. So you can download MetaTrader for free, you can open a demo account for free, choose the leverage which you believe your live account will have. So for example, if you want to go straight into a live account, it has 1 to 100 leverage. open a demo account with 1 to 100 leverage. If you're going, say, to a prop firm and it only has 1 to 30, open your demo account with 1 to 30. Then what I would do is don't add a stupid amount of money into your demo account. Don't start at $100,000. Don't even start at $10,000 on a demo account, because once you start trading real funds, are you realistically gonna put $10,000 of your savings in an account? Most likely not. So treat it as if it was a real live account that you would open. So if you're thinking only about putting $200 into your first live account after a few months, start your demo account with $200 in it, with the same leverage that you think you'll be using. So then when you do start trading your live account down the line, you'll be a lot more used to seeing the numbers on the screen. Because if you're trading with, say, a $100,000 account on demo, you could potentially easily be making $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a day. And you might think, brilliant, I'll stick a bit of money in and that's what I'll be aiming for. But in reality, it's not going to be that. If you stuck $100 in an account or $200 in an account, you will be looking to make potentially $5 to $10 a day max. So once you've opened up your demo account, only trade your strategy on the currency pair that you've chosen to learn. So delete everything else from MetaTrader. You can do this in the settings, just so you have your currency pair, and that's that. Keep it as clean as possible. Next, it's just about sitting and waiting and implementing the strategy that you've learned. Once you've done a couple of strategy tests and you can see it's potentially profitable for yourself, I would then start adding rules. And these rules are gonna almost follow throughout your whole trading career. So for example, set a 1% max loss per day on your demo account and say a 2% max win. That will give you a nice 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. And it means you'll get used to losing X amount and you'll get used to winning a set amount as well. This is so when you go onto a live account, everything is normal. You don't want to put extra pressure and change things up when you do go live. So keep the demo as simple as possible and keep it like you're trading live funds. And if you can't be consistent on a demo account, please don't put real money into a live account. You will lose everything. What I mean by this, if you're just not getting hold of your strategy that you've chosen to learn, switch it up, but only after a few weeks where you know that you cannot trade this strategy, because you don't want to start implementing a load of stuff that you might not understand fully into your trading. So keep it as simple and as real as possible on demo. Once you've proven to yourself that you can trade consistently on a demo account and be profitable, and when I mean by this, I mean over 2 to 3 months, not a week, not a few days, 2 to 3 months of trading. This gives you enough data to be confident within yourself and the strategy that you've chosen. Once you've got to that level, that's the point where you'd start to open your first live account. When you fund this account, don't put a lot of money in there, because I can almost guarantee pretty much 100% you will lose that money. But it's so you can start understanding the pressure and the stress of trading real live money where real profits can be withdrawn. So the goal here, it's not growth. You're not trying to grow your account. It's to learn about psychological exposure, what it's like when trading real money, when there are potential emotions attached to that money. And as much as you think that you have control over your emotions, once you start trading live money, however much it is, your weaknesses will show. And that's when you can sit down and you can note down what your weaknesses are and start focusing on them. Because everyone's going to be different. For me, it was revenge trading. That was the biggest thing that caused me not to become profitable within trading. It wasn't FOMO, it wasn't over leveraging, it wasn't over risking, but it was revenge trading straight after a loss. That then just caused me to lose obviously even more money, and I blew account after account after account. And it took me a while to actually realize what I was doing to fix it. So just be aware of what you're doing on the live account. Don't get carried away within the emotional side of it, but keep a tabs on that side so you can fix your weaknesses. So I'd keep trading this small account until you're almost trading on autopilot. you're trading your set times, you're following your rules and your strategy consistently, you're making consistent profits. Because remember, you don't graduate to bigger capital by passing time and doing random gambling trades. You graduate by controlling yourself. So what I would do next after being consistent on a small live account is I would leverage my money into a prop firm. Not for validation and not to get rich quick, but for scalability. Because most of you guys may only want to spend a few $100s or a few $1,000s on trading at this point in time. You don't want to put that all into a live account because you could easily blow that really, really quickly. Plus, that money in your live account, you're going to be really emotionally attached to it. So a prop firm is brilliant to scale up your capital within your trading career. So don't buy 10 challenges at once. Just buy one, whatever you're comfortable with potentially losing. The best thing about a prop firm is it might be slightly more expensive to get into it than what you've got in your live account currently. However, using a prop firm helps you really solidify your rules and strategy. Because unlike a live account, where you can lose 50% within a day, 20% within a day, you cannot do that with a prop firm. You need to limit yourself. So I trade with FTMO still, and they have a 5% max drawdown per day. So the max I can lose per day is 5%. Hence why I have a 1% loss rule per day. And that's why I said for you guys to start implementing that super early on. So when you do get into the prop firm stage where you are going to be scaling up capital, you will be used to this. Because for example, if you get a 100K account, I think they're around $500 for an FTMO one, 1% per day loss is $1,000. And my max win is around 2%, so 2K plus. So you can see how this really scales up from say your $100 account where 1% max loss is $1. 2% max win is $2. And this is what prop firms are amazing at doing. So you do have the challenge where usually you've got to make 10%, and then the verification where you've got to make 5%. But once you've done these two steps, you've proved to yourself and only yourself that you can follow your rules, follow your strategy, and become a profitable trader. Then you can just start taking your time with your prop firm. Scale up profits slowly, make sure losses are minimal, and don't trade a lot. And you'll start withdrawing decent profits from that prop firm, which you can then reinvest into other prop firm challenges to scale up your capital even more. Or if you're happy with some of the profits that you're making, you can add them to a live account where obviously the rules and the payout rules are obviously easier and you're more confident with almost controlling that amount of money. So prop firms are great, but please don't just go straight from demo to a prop firm, because you will end up just spending a load of money that you will potentially lose or will most likely lose. Because at the moment, I believe FTMO say around 95% of traders fail the first challenge. And the next step, once you've got to this prop firm level where you're withdrawing decent amounts of profit, you've really got to knuckle down on the routine that you have. Because if I had to build from absolute zero, my routine would be the foundation of what I do. I'd wake up early, I'd exercise, I'd step away from the charts. It's the most important part. Eat healthy so you feel good about yourself, because usually when you feel good about yourself, you're more confident within your trading, you're not over trading, and you follow your rules better. Because your routine also merges with the consistency part of trading. Being a consistent trader, yes, is about having consistent profits and following your rules consistently, but it's also about having a consistent routine. These three things are what every profitable trader has. Everyone's routine is different. However, every profitable trader has a set routine which they follow. Because consistency is not about being right 100% of the time. It's just being able to follow your plan. Because markets reward patience and consistency, they don't reward gambling. So in conclusion, if I had to start trading from zero again, I'd start by mastering my mind, not the charts. I'd pick one strategy, one pair, and one goal. Don't rush to get funded. Focus on becoming the trader who deserves to be funded. Because once you get that part right, everything else flows in naturally. And the best part about trading is you don't need luck. You just need discipline. So if you found this video helpful, please feel free to like and subscribe so other traders can also see this video. So I'll be focusing on making some more authentic videos as well, so you guys can follow along in my journey of becoming a full-time day trader, as I've only been doing it for just over a month now. And also so you guys can see what trading's actually like behind all the supercars, the lifestyle, the flashy profits, what it's actually like to be sat here trading. I've also put a link to FTMO, who is the funded broker that I use, and also XNES, who are the live broker that I use as well. So if you want to jump onto any of those, feel free to click the links below. But remember, make sure you're consistent on demo before clicking these links. Thank you again for watching. I wish you all the best with your own trading journey. If you have any questions or feel like you want anything else discussing, put it in the comments. I'll reply to you as quickly as possible.